Folks, welcome back. Today we're going to take a look here at this hOmelabs 50-pint dehumidifier. Going to get it out of the box, get it set up, go over all the features, and we're going to do a test run, and you can see how much water pulls out of the air in this hot, humid summer weather that we have right now. I've had previous history with these hOmelabs dehumidifiers, which is why I got another one. Very successful for me. I've done previous videos on it. You can check those out on how I've rigged them up to drain out through a wall and all sorts of stuff. Very successful. So this is one of their newer upgraded models. So we're going to go over the kind of some different features compared to the old ones and just have a general look and a good test run. And so let's get it open and out of the box. Okay, folks, so let's do a complete walk around. First thing is, once you have the unit out of the packaging and you put it in its permanent position where it's going to stay, you can also roll it around in the wheels, which is why I have these shop towels here so it doesn't roll off my wonky workbench here. But once it's kind of level and in its position where it's going to be, let it sit for 24 hours before you turn it on. That'll let the refrigerant settle. Okay, so we have two options in terms of where water is going to go when this unit produces all that water and pulls it out of the air. First thing is our bucket here, 1.6 gallons. So it has a nice handle here. So once it's full, the unit will automatically shut off and you just pull it straight out of the hatch and just carry it to wherever you want to dump the water out, outside in a bathtub, in a sink, whatever you want to do. And then once you're done, basically it just slides right back in. Easy peasy. There we go. And you're back in business. It'll automatically actually come back on. Next thing here at the back, couple things that we need to know. If you want to have it do gravity drain, so you have two options with these models, one of which is the gravity drain, or you can get the model with the pump, which is more expensive. That'll pump the water to wherever you want it to go. I don't need that, so basically I just have the gravity drain if I need it. And I've done, like I've said before, previous videos on that. Pretty much the connection is here, and it just screws off, and it's just like a regular, basically a garden hose type hookup. And so you can just screw on some sort of like a garden hose to that and then run the hose to wherever. And just as long as the hose is not higher than this, then it'll just drain out through a floor drain or whatever it might be. So if you're not going to use that, and also too, you're just going to use the bucket, then you just need to make sure that this is closed all the way and it'll automatically drain into the bucket. Thing is, the filter, this is not, I've not found this to be like a big deal or anything. But pretty much you just pop this off occasionally whenever it gets dirty. Rinse it out, let it dry, and then you just put it back on here. Very easy. And that's about all the maintenance you have to do other than getting rid of the water. So on each side of the unit there is handles here, so if you need to lift it up for some reason, it's very convenient to be able to do that. So you just one on each side and just lift it straight up. Easy day. Oh yeah, one last thing is inside the bucket, whenever you get it, there's this piece right here. It just pushes straight in, and it's a little place for you to wrap the electrical cord around if you need to do that. Nice thing with these dehumidifiers is they're pretty much maintenance free, other than deciding which way you're going to get rid of the water, keeping that filter clean. They're pretty much have all these different smart functions. If for some reason the refrigerator tubes get all frosted up, it'll go into auto defrost mode, so you don't even have to worry about that. It also has auto restart mode in case the power gets shut off. If there's any issue with the power, it'll also stay off for a while, for like a couple minutes before it turns back on. And then also too, once it reaches, like if you have a set humidity level, it'll also shut itself off. Or if you fill up the bucket with water, it'll shut itself off. So pretty much what I find with these is you don't really have to kind of overthink it with them. They're just very simple, maintenance free. Pretty much I don't have to, once I get them going, I don't really have to think about it other than emptying that bucket or cleaning the filter every once in a while. That's about it. On here they have a comfort level, so this goes off of the air temperature. So there's kind of a sliding scale, like if it's in the upper 70s, it'll aim to get the humidity down to about 45%. I don't use that function myself. I prefer to set the humidity on my own. Up to you if you want to use it. And then if the filter for some reason is getting clogged or whatever it might be, there will be a light that'll come on also. So you can just check the filter, make sure it's clear, rinse it out here and there. This is continuous mode, so if you just need to have it run and run and run and run, you just click it on that. I typically don't use that. I just set the humidity again and let the unit figure it out. Then you have turbo mode. So in an instance like today, which is extremely humid and very hot, if I was to run this right now here in the barn, I might go ahead and just put it on turbo mode. and just let it run full blast for a while to try to suck that humidity out of the air. There's a timer mode, and you can look in the instruction manual, complete instructions on how to set that if you want. But generally what I do, this is the easiest thing to do. We don't want to overthink this stuff. I just pick out a humidity level, which the actual humidity will show here on this little dial, this little LED screen. And then I will just use the arrows here to adjust the humidity down to what I want. Let's say if it's 70% humidity right now, I will just dial this down. Let's say I wanted to set it to 55. I'll click it a couple times till it goes to 55, and then basically hands off and just let it go. When it gets down to 55, it'll shut off. Or if the bucket gets full, it'll shut off. And other than that, it's just going to do its thing and come on and off as it sees fit. Yeah, the other thing these dehumidifiers have is you can pair your phone up with them. And also, too, you can connect it to the internet to download firmware updates. And so, relatively simple to do. It's just a matter of going through the instructions, holding down this button for 3 seconds to get the app to come up on the screen. And also, you have to download the hOmelabs app as well. Once you're all set up with that, then it's just a matter of you can control this basically on your own here. So just by pressing here the power button, and we can adjust the humidity. We can turn it up pretty much whatever we want there. We can go through with the different settings here, dehumidify, continuous, and comfort. And then we also have speed settings here for normal and turbo. And then we can also get notifications here for full water tank, or if the filter needs cleaned. You can go ahead and manually control it here from the app. And then also too, you can also, if you have multiple hOmelabs dehumidifiers, I have another one here that's not plugged in right now. You can also control multiple ones at the same time. And the other thing, if you have Amazon Alexa or Google Assistant, you can set that up too and control them that way. Number of different options there. So it's one of those things, totally up to you if you want to use it. If not, the manual controls work just fine. Once you get these hOmelabs dehumidifiers placed where you want to have them, you just want to make sure you have a little bit of airflow around them, of course, on the side and the back. Daily use is very simple. Mostly what I do is I just set that humidity setting to what I want, and it'll come on and off as you need to. And if you have it set for a continuous drain with a hose running out the back, really you don't even have to think about it for months and months and months, other than checking the filter in the back. That's it. And if you do have it set up to run off of the bucket, typically what I do is you'll see up here on the top, the P2 will come up and it'll say it's full. And then at that point, you can go ahead and come down here and just pull the bucket out, slide it out, and we have all of our water in here. When you slide it out, it has a nice handle here that you can grab hold of, and we got nearly 2 gallons of water in there that it's pulled out. So typically what I'll do is I'll just go ahead and empty it out once in the morning and then once in the evening. So pretty simple overall. And then once you've emptied out the bucket, which takes a minute or so, slide it back in. We're good to go. It'll go ahead and power back up again. And let's say, for instance, if we have the humidity already set to what we want, we don't even have to worry about it. It automatically comes on. Let's see where we're at. We're at 40 right now. Let's go ahead and set it at 50. That should be good. Now, here we are a year later, and like it happens as a creator, you start making a video, you get distracted by other things. So I made the first part of this video in July 2025. And here, coming in here to finish it up, July 2026, I realized I had all that footage. And now we can finish the video, which is kind of good for y'all, because now we have a year on this particular unit right here. And so it's done a phenomenal job. And so the great thing with these hOmelabs dehumidifiers is once you set that initial humidity level, and also too, depending on whether you want to use the bucket or the continuous drain and let the water drain off that way through a hose, you don't really have to think about them too much. And it's kind of funny making the video because now I have to kind of think about the dehumidifier, but in ordinary use, I'm not really having to think about it at all. I pretty much set the humidity level I want. When it gets full, the red light comes on, I pull the bucket out, I dump it out. With the other one that I have over here that is on continuous drain, that one there, for 6 months of the year, I don't even think about it at all. The humidity is set at 50%. All the humidity, the excess water just runs out through a drain in the wall to the outside. That's that. Easy day. So these are just very simple to use. The only thing you got to do is check that filter at the back periodically to make sure the filter is clear. That's it. Don't have to think about it. And that's the great thing with them. They just run and run. My oldest hOmelabs dehumidifier now is almost 10 years old. And so they just keep on trucking and getting the job done. So anyways, folks, if you're looking for a really good dehumidifier, these do work real well. I do try to test other brands and other things like that and do comparisons and stuff. So, you know, that's just part of the game of being in the creator world and making videos and stuff. And it's always good to test other products. But hOmelabs, they just always get the job done. So great dehumidifiers, and they really work well. Y'all have a good one.